Hello, welcome to Honors Physics. I'm Mrs. Bauer and I am so excited that you are in my class and we get to go through this journey of physics together. This year we are going to have a flipped class in Honors Physics, which means that I will make some hopefully short videos of lectures that we would normally have in class. You will watch those videos at home and often do a very short homework assignment, but that frees up a lot of time in class to do some more hands-on activities, more labs, more guided practice with me helping you, hopefully making this a very, very good experience for all of us. Okay, so this first video is on the nuts and bolts of the class. So labs. We're going to do several labs this semester and they come in two flavors. You should have purchased the tutorials and introductory physics workbooks. They both look similar in the cover of them, and the tutorials are conceptual. They are developed out of the University of Washington. They are so great. The way that you work through them in a lab environment, lab group environment, and I will come around and use Socratic dialogue, which means I will answer your questions with more questions to help you delve deeper into the subject matter. They really are the key to success on exams, quizzes, learning goals, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Most of you guys will love it, and some of you guys will not, but it will help all of you. Then we have traditional labs, just like you did biology and chemistry, except now you get to design your own labs, which is really exciting, and we'll talk more about that when we get to our first lab very soon. Online homework. All of you guys should have purchased the student access code for Mastering Physics, and basically it's an online program. You will put in answers. Each of you will have a homework set that I will assign you guys. You will put in your answers and you will get immediate feedback whether your answer is right or wrong, and you have as many chances as you need to get the right answer. What matters is that you keep on trying and that you learn the physics. It doesn't matter if you get the answer right on the first time. I want you to be free to make mistakes in this class and learn from your mistakes. Late work. I understand that things pop up, and totally understandable. What we need to do is have an open conversation between you and me and letting me know what's going on. If it becomes a habit, we need to bring other people into the conversation and make sure that you are performing to the best of your abilities and that you're in the right place. So grades. The grade policy is excuse me, in this class is as follows: 70% learning goals, and we'll talk about those. Labs and homework are together 10% of the grade. Projects, which you'll have at least one each semester, is 10% of your grade, and your final exam is a mere 10%. There is no extra credit in this course. Excuse me. So, we are going to be doing, our grading system is called standards-based grading. So let's talk about what that might be. In traditional grading systems, we'll go something like this. So this is a comic. It's an app store tornado warning app. And it has 4 stars, so it looks like it's pretty good. And you look at the reviews and it's like, oh yeah, this app has lots of choices, it doesn't crash, it covers a lot of area. But then someone that actually tried to use it said it didn't warn me about a tornado. Now, 4 out of 5 stars, that's at 80%. That's a B. But if the app doesn't work, if it doesn't say what it was supposed to do, does it really deserve a B? Have you ever had a situation where you did all your homework, you participated in class, you had an organized binder, yet at the end of the day you didn't really learn anything? That's happened to me before, and you feel kind of like, well, I'm not really proud of that grade, but okay, I got it. And I do not want that to happen in our class. So, one more example. So we have 3 students here, and we show their grades throughout the semester. Student C starts off high and then ends up just not doing well, bombing. Student A is all over the board here, and student B starts off not really getting it, but then eventually comes around and gets it, and then does really well at the end. The question is, which student, if this was a class on packing a parachute, which student would you choose to pack your parachute? Well, obviously, you will choose this one. Unless you're like a big risk taker and choose this one. But the thing is, with traditional grades, if these are all grades, they will all average out to the same average at the end. But it doesn't tell you anything about the student. So, enter in standards-based grading. All of you guys received this packet of learning goals that we'll have for the first semester on the first day of class. You could also find it on Blackboard. In this packet are all the learning goals, or all the concrete things that I expect you to learn for this entire semester. And they're broken down in bits: constant velocity, constant acceleration, so on and so forth. We'll get back to that. Well, if your grading system doesn't guide students towards excellence, it's time for something completely different. I wholeheartedly agree with this. So it's not just what we do in class, but it's also a grading system that helps us learn. Interesting, huh? So the old Power School will look something like this. You had quizzes, tests, homework, blah, blah, blah. A new Power School looks something a little bit different. Instead of quizzes and tests, you're going to have learning goals listed up here. And since they have such a long description, they'll have a cryptic name: CVPM1, CVPM2. And that will harken back to this: CVPM/G, so constant velocity particle model graphing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., etc. They're graded on a 0 to 4 scale. 4 means that you got it absolutely 100% correct. So, for that learning goal, you've learned it. 3.5 means that you totally mastered the skill, but you made some small mistake, and so there's a little tiny room for improvement. 3 means that you have a firm grasp of the material, but you still have to demonstrate something that you about the skill. Maybe you didn't explain your reasoning fully, so I just don't know what's in your head, and so I can't give you the 4, or you didn't earn the 4 by fully explaining yourself, letting me see into that mind of yours. Or perhaps you almost have it, but there's just something not quite right, and we just need to correct that and move on. 2 means that you've demonstrated some conceptual understanding of the skill, but you have a ways to go. That's a 50%. 1 is that you wrote something down, but it's not right. And 0 is that you left the problem blank. There is no extra credit in this course. So every time we get a quiz, a problem will assess one, and most likely more than one, learning goal. The learning goals will be listed. And depending on how you answer the problems with respect to each learning goal is what will determine your score for that learning goal. The learning goals will be reassessed throughout the school year, and it's always the most current score that shows up on Power School. So if you are one of those that takes a while to get it, but then you got it, this grading system is for you. If you're one of those that gets it quickly and stays with it, perfect, this is for you too. If you're one of those that fluctuates up and down, well, we're going to learn how to just keep the material in our heads for a long time, and you'll learn to be a better student through the grading system. So for exams, well, in this class there are no exams. There are only quizzes. The only exam we have is the final exam. So everything will be, our quizzes will take anywhere from 10 minutes to a half hour. I like very rich problems. Here's an example of one. This is a problem of a block sliding down a ramp here over some rough patch right here, and comes over here and pushes in a spring. And I could ask a myriad of questions about this. What's the velocity of the block right here? How much does the block slow down due to friction here? What's the velocity of the block here? How far does it push the spring in? When the spring releases the block, how much energy is lost going back over the rough patch? How many times can it do this iteration before it stops, and where will it stop? It is a fantastic problem. Most of our problems will be this way. So a lot of times your quiz will be one problem, but one problem with like A, B, C, D, E, F, G parts. And so that's what we get. So standards-based grading. So this is the heart of what we are grading. First, you learn a new skill. We practice the skill both at homework and in class. I want you to make mistakes. Just like from learning from the talent code, you learn through your mistakes. And not just making mistakes, but recognizing that you have mistakes and then you go and fix them. So analyzing and fixing mistakes is a big integral part to what you need to do to learn. Then you quiz on the skill. If you happen to not do well in the skill, you make a mistake, you ask for help, you practice the skill, you analyze and fix your mistakes, you practice the skill, you re-quiz on that skill, and either you demonstrate mastery or we keep on going on this loop until you get it. So tutoring help. I am available at lunch pretty much every day unless I have prefecting. If something comes up, there will be a sign on the door letting you know where I am. After school, I will be available after school to 2:45, and I will leave to pick up my daughter, and I will be back at school at 3:15 to 4 o'clock-ish. If you need me later, be happy to stay later. Most days. So. Remaining issues, academic honesty. I expect you guys just no copying. You guys are honor students, you're LaSalle students, so that's not a problem. Absences, if you're absent, check Blackboard, and also email me and come see me if you have any questions on what you missed. If you need to leave early, same thing. Talking, there's a time to talk in class and there's a time to pay attention, and we will get practice doing both. And please, please, please get help at the first sign that you need help. Don't wait for it to snowball, because that really turns out well. And that's all, folks. I am so looking forward to having you in class. Thank you for joining me for an awesome year.